What's up, you guys? Joe Dobby here. I am now a Deck Out Gaming affiliate. Use Joe Dobbs Deck Out at checkout. Deck Out Gaming has tons of singles for Pokemon, Dragon Ball Super, and Digimon TCG, as well as One Piece. They now buy list as well, so don't hesitate to reach out, and they got your back. Really high customer service ratings. Thank you, guys. And yeah, let's get to the video. Yeah, we'll raise. Would you believe me if I said that I could board wipe you from here?
You know what? I'd like to see it.
Let's try it. I don't know if it'll work, but let's try it, okay?
Let's do it.
We'll go into Beelzemon for 3, go to 0, draw. Effect. No, it doesn't. So we'll mill 3. Okay. Imp, Dober, and Beels. Beels will play this Impmon. I will trash a Soulmon to grab Beel's Blast Mode.
Nice.
I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in trash. What do I want to do here? So you have 1, 2... Do I swing into the Palmon is the question. Yes, I do. So Beels will swing over the Palmon. I'll trigger Wizardmon effect to add Blast Mode to the top of my security.
Yep.
I'll trigger Iron Mako effect to trash the Blast Mode, deleting the other Palmon.
Okay.
I'll pay 3 memory to digivolve into Blast Mode to delete all your Digimon of the highest level and then draw for Evo.
Yes, sir.
For Tamers, we ran 3 copies of Iron Mako. I definitely needed to see this a lot, so it's there. 2 copies of Jack Raid saved me in security and helped me extend my plays. Very good stuff. Demonic Disaster, swung for game with it a couple times tonight. Call from Darkness, used it to pop an Impmon and bring back a Balmon. 2 copies of Mist Memory Boost, which was pretty good. It was more useful for the memory. Sometimes you really whiff on the trash 2 and draw 1. Like, you could totally draw that 1 useless card that you don't need at the moment, and it's unfortunate, but the 2 memory kind of compensates for that. Allows you to like do things like hard play Balmon and tell your opponent like your move. 4 copies of Deathslinger because it's +1 memory when trash from top of deck, and it deletes a level 4 +1 per every 10 cards in trash. 3 copies of Beelzemon Blast Mode, which you guys might think is super greedy, but in a 2-body or a 3-body Bloom Lord stack that's swinging, it's only 14k, so it's died to Blast Mode. In addition to that, Ulforce will probably die if it doesn't evade, and Gallantmon to a degree might die if it doesn't have enough DP boosts as well, because it actually doesn't have DP boost inheritables, if I'm not mistaken. Trashed all 3, yep. In addition to that, when trashed from the top card of your deck, it deletes level 4 or lower. So say goodbye to Floodgates. I was initially running it at 2, but 3 made it super more consistent, and I was very, very quickly able to remove Floodgates. So that was huge. 4 copies of this Beels right here. This boy is awesome because it allows me to replay Impmons and allow me to just delete more Floodgates if I digivolve or, you know, attack with it, and facilitate the filling of my trash. 2 copies of the Crossheart Beelzemon, which was a surprise for everybody, but the Crossheart Beels is great with the Balmon combo because then you can play this, and then if you've got 20 cards in trash on play, you're basically deleting 2 level 4 lower Digimon. In addition to that, it's also a when digivolving effect. And if you pay 3 memory with Iron Mako to go in the Blast Mode and you've got 30 cards in trash, you can actually keep turn with its inheritable end of attack. For every 10 cards in your trash, gain 1 memory. This actually came up quite a bit, this interaction here, where this was actually what was putting my opponent to like 1 or 2 memory, with me having like an Impmon, a Blast Mode, and like something in raising. And that was pretty much all that was needed to close out. 1 copy of the Secret Beelzemon, which is also probably a surprise, but I run Black War Growlmon in here, and sometimes being able to Digiburst and go into the Beelzemon is all I need for to do for the turn, instead of even going up over the Black War Growl. Sometimes I'd leave the Black War Growl there just so I can get a separate Beels, and then next turn solidify like a super Beelzemon turn where I'm running like 2 Beels at a time. Level 5s, we got 2 copies of Black War Growl that I was mentioning. Digiburst 3, play that Deletion Impmon, and then basically like trigger it, trash 3 more, unsuspend. Very good stuff. Balmon, facilitator of more trashing, and I can play Beelzemon from trash if I've got 10 cards in trash, so that's awesome. 2 copies of Dober. This I was hoping I could have substituted for like a blocker against Ethan, Bloom Lordmon. A blocker would have been great for game 3, but because I didn't have it, it was a severely very close game, and I didn't have a blocker, and he was able to take out all of my security, which is why I lost that one, my only loss for the night. But Dober allows me to cycle pieces and trash and make my trash go burr, so very good card. I kind of sacrificed some defense for that, and you know, it worked out in my favor. 3 copies of Soulmon. When trash from top card of your deck, when you trash a card from the top of your deck, gain a memory. The 4 cost is actually what is the most important thing here, because with cards like Deathslinger or Wizardmon, you can go up to 2, 3, 4 memory, and then that's when you slam Soulmon and go in a ball, or slam Soulmon putting your opponent to 1. And then you can still have that on deletion Impmon, or the good Impmons in raising, without having the Digivolve over them. Next, we got 4 copies of that promo Wizard. It's going to be reprinted in the advanced deck, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but its active effect when trash from top of deck, gain a memory, but its when attacking effect is super good. Reveal 1 purple card from your hand, place it at the top of your deck, and then pretty much if there's a Balmon, you're trashing it guaranteed, Beelzemon trashing it guaranteed, Iron Mako trashing it guaranteed, and gaining the advantages of that, so that's really good. We're going to go into the rookies now. I'm running 1 copy of each Floodgate. Gazimon actually saved me against Bloom a lot, because I faced 2 Blooms. Psychmon didn't see a matchup for it, but I didn't see it to the point where I was regretting putting it there anyway, so it's not bad. Leaving the Psychmon there was actually okay. 2 copies of the Impmon that allows me to grab Demon Lords and Beelzemon from trash. Figured that would be a very good card to have just a 2 of. I don't really need to see it too early, too late. And I was finding this guy at the right moment, so that was huge. Next, we are running 4 copies of the EX2 Impmon, which allows me to find my Tamers, my Iron Makos, and my Beelzemons. In addition to that, the best part about this card is the mill 3 more cards when it's trashed from the top of the deck, as long as it's not its own effect that is triggering it. So I was able to get to 10 cards by turn 2, and then turn 2 is when, you know, if the Balmon dies, I can play a Beels, and then I can just choke my opponent until I have Iron Mako out, and then blast mode for game. So this is a very memory intensive deck where, like, because you're kind of RNG on what you're milling, you're using your memory as a resource more importantly, which is why Iron Mako for me, or like a memory setter, is super crucial, because you can work with what you have in your hands more, because your hands are not going to be super thick when you're milling off all the time, right? When you're milling all the time, which is why, like, being set to 3 actually at least guarantees you some type of play. In addition to that, it's a guaranteed Beelzemon Blast Mode Evo, so it's really good. And it gives you time. So it gives you time to work probabilities and, you know, use what you see in your hand and in your trash to figure out whether, you know, milling more cards makes sense this turn, or if you want to just Evo or slam something and not mill. Like, all of these things play a huge role, and I think I worked out the probabilities and my plays tonight pretty decently, and that's why we came away with a pretty good result. But last but not least, the 4 copies of the on deletion trash 3 Impmon. And I surprisingly did not actually utilize this guy to swing at security as much as I thought I would, because my opening play, if I was second, would be Digivolve to this in raising, hard slam this, swing, and then it would actually survive. So So I would leave it there and then wait another turn. Like, if this survives, it's actually not bad unless it's getting bounced, because you just get another check and you can stay in raising. You have more time now to stay in raising and potentially get into that Balmon and then go into all your plays. So yeah. For the eggs, we're running 1 Demimera and 4 Pagus. The Demimera never hurts to draw 1 and trash 1. The trash one kind of sucks, unless it's like blast mode you're trashing. Unless it's literally blast mode you're trashing. Because everything else, you can kind of gain advantage through milling. The only time Demimera actually is kind of cool is if you desperately need a blast mode in trash to do the thing. But it's really more importantly the draw. And then 4 copies of the Pagu, which is why I play this over the Demimera, because it's just trash the top 2, so it'll get there anyway. But yeah, that's the deck, y'all.